Welcome to the show. How was your Labor Day weekend? I'm Nick Paolo, your host. Nice to talk to you. I made jerk chicken and I'm still burning my ass out. Is 12 Scotch bonnet peppers too much to put in a jerk chicken marinade? Because that's what I did. I'm talking flaming ass. I did it in celebration of DACA. What? What's that got to do? Nothing. I just thought I worked it in there. How's it going, folks? 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. I'll get to the DACA/CACA in a few minutes. I'm so tired of it. Everybody's a fucking angel of these 800,000 people. The country will fold if they fucking... It's cruel. It's unusual. It's punishment. Even the Marxist asswipe who is responsible for DACA, even he had to pipe in today, having the gall to say that Trump is cruel. And what's cruel is you doing something unconstitutional, wiping your ass with the Constitution, then blaming it on somebody else. You put those kids in that position. What do you think of that, you mamaluke? You mamaluke, you mamaluke. Before I get into that, folks, come see me Saturday, September 9th, Yonkers Comedy Club. That's this Saturday night. I just went through Yonkers. Waze took me through Yonkers to get me off the fucking sawmill. It was so packed. I saw breeds I've never seen before of dogs and people. What a street that was. Mother of Christ. People from countries I've never even heard of selling fucking mangoes. Just a third world shithole. Congratulations, you won, libs. September 16th, the Newtown Theater in Newtown, Pennsylvania. I will be there. It's a beauty. September 29th, my favorite gig of the year, Ridgefield Playhouse in Ridgefield, Connecticut. And this Friday, the radio show will be off. We'll be doing a best of. I will be on the Tucker Carlson show, Fox News Channel. I call him the whitest man on TV, and fucking love him. Not because he's white. I just love him because he really just brings these libs on and just fucking kicks them in the nuts, slaps them across the face, and they sit there stuttering, and then he has to cut them off. It's so funny to watch people be confronted with actual reason and logic after all these years of emotional-based arguments from the left. Well, they're good people. We don't... Yeah, but the numbers. Let's get down to the numbers. How do they help you? How is the school better when you have kids who can't, in class, 50% of the kids can't speak English? How does that help us? But they're good people. And I'll be on his show. Those are tricky, those shows. It's hard to be funny because, look, it's Fox News. It's a brand name. I say something off color, and it's a live show, by the way, whatever that means. They got to have a delay even on a live show, right, Brendan? I don't know how it works. But I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know how to make a show. So I'll be doing that Friday night. If you guys have no life and you're watching Tucker, which a lot of us are. I watch Fox News because I want to order catheters through the mail and get tubs that have doors that open on them. And I want that goddamn chairlift. What is that thing? What's it called? It's not called a chairlift. That's on a mount when you go skiing. What is it called?
It's got cherry picker.
Yeah, cherry picker. What are you working
Stairway to Heaven?
Grammy working for Con Ed? Yeah, the Stairway to Heaven is what I call it. That's what it looks like. The lady in her late hundreds and the thing.
Wow, what is it?
What's it called? It's God damn it.
No, not Stairmaster. My grandpa used to have one.
It's something chairlift. Isn't it? Oh, right now my wife's at home going, what a fucking asshole. We only talk about this for 20 minutes at a time.
Stair lift.
Stair lift. Where am I getting chair? Oh, it's a chair. That's right. I want one of those, not because I'm old, because I drink a lot on the weekends, and I need something to strap myself in. How funny would that be? I'm in that thing, and I have a bat chasing me up the stair. My fucking haunted house. Anyways, go to nickdip.com if you want ticket information on my gigs or follow my tour dates. And hit me up on Twitter, at Nick DiPaolo, Instagram, at Nick DiPaolo, Facebook, at Nick DiPaolo. Put me over the 100,000 mark. Can we do that tonight? I'm about 150 away. What do you say, folks? Put me over that. It'll make me 1/10 as famous as Chelsea Handler. How about her? What an ignoramus. Keep talking, Chelsea. Fucking believable. So DACA was the big thing today, folks. DACA. And President Trump had to make a statement, and I thought it was a good one. I'm wondering who wrote it. I'm just saying. 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. Let me read a little. Well, let's wait a minute. Let's retrace it. First of all, why we got in this, why we're in this mess. As you know, DACA was what they call an executive order by Obama. And it's unconstitutional. And even I know this. I don't pretend to be fucking, a constitutional scholar here. But the Congress is in charge of making immigration laws. But Obama had many times he said back in 2010 that, hey, I can't do this. I'm not let's play it. This is what he said in 2010, by the way.
Ultimately, I'm one man. We live in a democracy. We don't live in a monarchy. I'm not the king. I'm the president. And so I can only implement those laws that are passed through Congress. And so, the question is, when am I going to get some help from Republicans to actually get it done? And, that's, going to depend on the community making sure that it is focused on those who are preventing comprehensive immigration from occurring.
Shut it.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
So anyways, he passed that through fiat. And you can't do that, but he did it anyways. Why? Because he had an election coming up, if I remember correctly. Right? And you need the black and brown vote. Do what you can. The Democrat Party's selling their fucking souls to win an election. And here we sit. And what happened is, like 10 to 12 attorney generals from different states said, fuck you, this is illegal. And they sued, they were suing Trump's administration, I believe. Well, whoever. And that date came today so Trump's administration had to take action. They threw the ball back in the court of friggin' Congress. But this whole fucking thing, mean and cruel. That Dick Durbin, I would like to bitch slap him. Just a demagoguing fucking... Don't they love to play on that? Oh, what about the children and the kids? Hey, what about the fucking parents who snuck in here without thinking and dropped the fucking litter of 6? Huh? How about that being cruel? Don't you see that we're the only fucking nation left of law and orders on the planet? It's why we're the only superpower left. Does anybody fucking see that? Hello? Go to Mexico. Go to Acapulco. Fucking get shot in the ass on vacation now. Our neighbors. But let's read from Trump. Well, let's hear from Jeff Sessions. And I love watching Jeff Sessions because I know what all libs are thinking. Look at this racist cocksucker from Alabama, this old crunchy white guy with the glasses on the end of his nose. You can tell they just don't like brown people. I can just hear these liberal fuck-offs just from the accent. And I say God bless him and the big orange goof, Trump. Here's Sessions.
The program known as DACA that was effectuated under the Obama administration is being rescinded. Such an open-ended circumvention of immigration laws was an unconstitutional exercise of authority by the executive branch. We inherited from our founders and have advanced an unsurpassed legal heritage, which is the foundation of our freedom, our safety, and our prosperity. As Attorney General, it is my duty to ensure that the laws of the United States are enforced and that the constitutional order is upheld.
You're racist.
Simply put, if we are to further our goal of strengthening the constitutional order and the rule of law in America, the Department of Justice cannot defend this overreach.
All righty. Oh, my God. Just his accent. You can tell he doesn't like brown people. Can't you just tell by his accent? Bullshit. He's right on the money, and so is Trump, and Obama's a chooch with a capital C. 866-969-1969. Oh, yes, well, here's what Trump had to say. As president, my highest duty, should I read it the way he would in 4 words at a time? As president, my highest duty is to defend the American people and the Constitution of the United States of America. I can't do it, Trump. I just can do his pace. At the same time, I do not favor punishing children, most of whom are now adults, for the actions of their parents, but we must also recognize we are a nation of opportunity because we are a nation of laws. And that's all there is to it, folks. If you're on the left and you want to come at us with all that, oh, but the children are screw, go fuck yourself. Okay, we're a nation of laws. Otherwise, I'd be out shoplifting tonight and stealing cars and shooting people and having fun. But no, I'm doing a fucking radio show. Make a minimum wage. The legislative branch, not the executive branch, writes these laws. But in June of 2012, Obama bypassed Congress to give work permits, Social Security numbers, and federal benefits to approximately 800,000 illegal immigrants, currently between the ages of 15 and 36. The typical recipients of this executive amnesty, known as DACA, are in their 20s. In referencing the idea of creating new immigration rules unilaterally, President Obama admitted that we just played that clip, can't do this by myself, right? And then there was 10 states suing over the program, requiring this administration, that would be the Trump administration, to make a decision regarding its legality. Bottom line is, it's back in the hands of Congress. So he gave him like 6 months, I guess. Therefore, in the best interest of our country and in keeping with the obligations of my office, the Department of Homeland Security will begin an orderly transition and wind down of DACA, one that provides minimum disruption. While new applications for work permits will not be accepted, all existing work permits will be honored until their date of expiration up till 2 full years from today. Furthermore, applications already in the pipeline will be processed, as will renewal applications for those facing near-term expiration. This is a gradual process, not a sudden phase-out. Permits will not begin to expire for another 6 months and will remain active for up to 24 months. Thus, in effect, I am not going to just cut DACA off, but rather provide a window of opportunity for Congress to finally act, which we all should hold our breath. 6 months. Give him 6 fucking light years. Mitch McConnell with his no chin. And see, what's going to happen, folks, is the Republican Party, they're going to go to war with each other over this. You got extreme, they call them extreme. I call them constitutional. The conservatives, the 8 people that supposedly screw shit up, they believe in what the country is founded on. But they're going to go to war with the fucking moderates like Paul Ryan, two-face punk, and Mitch McConnell, no chin, crusty white, big fucking stupid glasses, drooling Kentuckyite. No offense, Brendan. Why don't we call Mitch McConnell soft serve? Anyways, they're going to go to war in the House, and I don't know how the Senate breaks down because I'm not doing fucking C-SPAN here. But I'm just... Remember, when you listen to the show, you get the facts. I'm like the one guy at the bar of your 5 friends who actually reads the paper. And, but I have like 3 Jack and Waters, and it... You got to love this show. You got to. And if you don't, I don't know what your problem is. And here's the other funny thing, folks. I had all my stories printed out. I do my 2 to 3 hours of research in the afternoon, print them out. I have them on my desk. I usually put them in my iPad, which I bring in. And what do? I get here tonight. I open my bag. I open my iPad. No stories. Left them on the goddamn kitchen counter. Thank God Andy Fiore and Brendan Stipes, my crackpot staff, ran around and pulled this stuff up. But here's the problem, too. You got some parts of the right, the big corporate guys, they want this cheap labor. And then you got the far leftist cocksuckers who pretend it's about keeping families together when they really want to secure the brown and black vote for the next 60 years. So that sums it up for you people. Can I get another shot of Jack Daniels, please? Send my 2 crack staff guys I don't know. What are you drinking?
Shirley Temple for me.
A Shirley Temple. And Brendan?
OJ.
An OJ. They have to stay straight. They're driving tonight. Driving a bus to Fayetteville. What? So I summed that up beautifully, didn't I, folks? I think I did. Bottom line is, get off Trump's back. Obama had a chirp in. Imagine the gall. This is the guy that set this whole shitstorm in motion. He goes, it's wrong and it's cruel. Everything's cruel when you disagree with the Dems. Dick Durbin. Dick Durbin was talking to the Dreamers. We've been with you since blah, blah, blah. Just a cynical ploy. In other words, we're the Democrat Party. We've been behind you guys the whole time because we love you. And by the way, they make these people out, these 800,000 people who this is going to, the most virtuous people. There's no criminals in there. They're all raking my leaves, cleaning my pools, even though my guys are from Guatemala. I don't know. But, it's not just Mexican. There's Chinese. There's all kinds of El Salvador scum that went to Long Island and beating people up with a hat. There's a cross-section, but you don't hear about any of that from Dick Durbin and Nancy Leather Nipples Pelosi. You just hear the fucking good people, cruel, bad people, Trump mad, boo. Fucking children of the corn. Well, why the fuck is line one? They think they're going to dictate the show. What the fuck? Let's go to somebody who knows about illegal immigration, whose life has probably been affected by it, I'm guessing. Johnny in Arizona on line 2. Johnny boy.
What's going on, brother?
You heard what's going on.
Man. Well,
go ahead.
You know what? My life actually has been affected by illegal immigration. When I was 19 years old,
yep.
I had a pretty sweet 72 Nova. It was my first car. And, thank God that jerk actually hit me doing 50 without hitting the brakes, because it turns out he actually had a warrant out for his arrest for 2 murders in Nogales.
Are you kidding?
Then on top of that, the car was stolen, the one that he hit me with.
Where were the murder warrants out? Where?
In Nogales, Mexico.
Oh.
So you're talking about essentially an international terrorist, that was here with a family.
Yeah.
And, had his little niece in the car, by the way, too.
Oh, for Christ's
Not
sake.
even in a baby seat, in the front seat. And, I mean, come on, man. I live in Arizona. I see the crap all day. And I originally came from New York. And like you said earlier, listen, you got immigrants coming in from everywhere. It's not just the Mexicans, man.
Right.
You got the Russians, the Chinese, the freaking Irish.
Yeah.
I'm Greek myself. I'm sure one of my family members was...
Did you say the Irish?
Oh, yeah, man. There was Irish coming over here illegally. Come on.
What do you mean? When? Yeah, fucking...
Oh, no, never mind.
1895.
Yeah, well, hey.
He lumps in the Irish like we're all of a sudden we're thrown back in time. No, but you make all valid Johnny, you make all valid points, man. And again, the majority of these people are good. And right. There are people in college and going through medical school right now who are going to have to make a decision. We're going to make a decision. But that's not our problem. It's the United States.
No,
we're supposed to take on everybody in the fucking bring everybody over, and now we're responsible. The taxpayers have a say in this. That's why Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan have to be tied to a fucking block and thrown in the Atlantic.
Here's my thing about it: it's not our fault that you and your family manipulated our system.
My family got nothing to do with it.
All of a sudden, and then you want us to go, oh, what about the children? What about the children? It's not my fault you decided to rip the condom off and have a fucking kid.
Wait a minute.
It's not my problem.
Are you saying they wear condoms? That's funny, Johnny.
I'm full of jokes today, man.
I actually had a good bet on that, Johnny. I go, please, when Greg Giraldo was on Tough Crowd, I go, because he's half Colombian. I go, yeah, tell your people that condoms aren't just for smuggling coke anymore. That's a great fucking joke. It's so good. It got me doing radio 40 years later. Anyways. All right, Johnny. Good luck to you,
man.
Thanks.
Thanks, brother. You too. Bye-bye.
866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. I'd like to hear from some people either way, but I think most of you know I'm right. But we're going to toss it into Congress's lap. That's fucking precious, isn't it? These people. And again, you're going to watch Republicans fight with each other. Let's go to Brendan in Georgia and see if he can maybe get on topic with us. Brendan, what's up, buddy? Brendan? That's good. That's good, Brendan. First of all, you wanted to talk about something on...
that one's on me.
Okay, I'm sorry, Brendan. That was Andy Flowers.
No, what I was going to say was...
Go ahead.
Like, liberals talk from... When they want to make a law, they want to make it from feelings, not from, what the law needs to be. So, they're always talking about, well, what about the kids or what about this? Well, what about the fact that right is right and wrong is wrong? And if you come over here illegally and you have children over here, you're still illegal. You're still breaking the law.
Well,
okay?
Yes.
And they they dictate things in our country, like you said, elections and all this. So they're changing things in the process of our country, but they don't even belong here in the first place.
Well, yes. No, look, words either mean something or they don't, okay?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So if that's the case, and it starts with the president at the top, Obama just fucking wiped his ass with the Constitution because he needed a win. And, you know what I'm saying? We got him on fucking 19 videos, him saying, look, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, for crying out loud. I understand eventually this country is going to be a third world shithole, and that's what the libs and the Dems want. And they're well on their way. But, you know, I mean, we're going to put up a little bit of a fight. Again, I've never been happier to be 55 years old. I can't wait to see this place in 40 years.
Well, I just think that it's sad that when we want to make a law, we think of emotions before we think of the actual facts of what needs to be done.
Yes.
And if, you know, I mean, I understand that, you know, you supposedly care about these people, even though they're just using those people to get these votes and to get things in their favor.
Yes.
But the fact is, you know, sometimes when you're the head of something, you can't think of feelings. Just like Army generals, when they have to make decisions, they have to make them for the best of everybody.
Well, yes. You're talking about logic and reasoning and linear thinking, which the white man's been pretty good at for a long time, but somehow it's become a fucking evil thing in this country. You know. Thank you for the call, Brendan. I appreciate it, man. I got a lot more calls. Thank you so much. Yeah, it really is. Dick Durbin and I was sitting there, again, throwing my shoes at the TV. I actually bought girl shoes because they don't break the screen. Again. Some nice light, the straps. Shit. Yeah. I'm not going to break a flat screen with my fucking work boots. But what is this notion we have to take everybody on the planet? It's this country is a fucking... That's what they want. You know, the Pelosi's of the world, they can't come out and say it. So they hide it with, we care about you. And Trump is cruel to the Republic. I've been hearing this since I was 18 when Reagan was, what a fucking Nazi, blah, 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 blah. It's all fun and games so you get hit by a fucking trunk and your Nova is totaled. I just said Nova with an R once again. I can't talk. I am from the By the way, we get some good... Well, we're going to take more calls on this because it's the big story. Personally, I could give a shit. But there's no illegals in the building, right? Doing anything here? But we got some good stories. Red Sox Yankees over the weekend. Apparently, the Red Sox were using some electronic devices, and they weren't vibrators, folks. I got a black serial killer in Kansas City. I never got to that last week, and I figured, well, you know what? If I won't get to it, you'll hear about it over the weekend on the national news, because a black guy killed 5 white guys. But guess what? I said to my wife, "Do you hear about that today?" This was like a week ago. No, I didn't hear. You didn't. I'll get it. Got John Legend. He put out a casting call for fat white actors to play Trump supporters. That shouldn't surprise anybody. That's how Hollywood's worked for years and how they betrayed guys. But we'll take more calls on DACA, or as I say, DACA. Nice pair of DACAs. Unbelievable. We can't help everybody. And let me say this to Pelosi and to Dick Durbin. If this country is so mean and racist and shit, why is every person from every third world shithole trying to get here on an inner tube? Diet Pepsi cans strapped to their ankles. Makeshift rafts, inner tubes around their waists. Huh? Why? Why? Because it's the greatest country on the planet. And how do we get that way? It's called law and order, the rule of law. And if you don't believe that, go buy a summer home in Venezuela, why don't you? 866-969-1969. Sit tight, kids. Co-founder of Steely Dan passed away this weekend. They sold, I think it was, 40 million albums? Or 47 million albums? I love them. As a kid, that was my first, giving away my age. Do you remember 45 records? They were like this big.
Sure.
That was one of my first one was Go Back, Play It Again. What is it?
Yeah, Do It Again.
Do It Again. That was what?
73.
73. So I was 26. Fucking love him.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was only like 60-something.
Yeah.
But in rock years, that's like 171. Right? That's how you go. You fucking burn out. You don't rust. I am Italian. I'll rust. I'm like a fucking 1928 Studebaker in the rain with no paint on it. Anyways, we're talking DACA caca. Bunch of whiny bitches. Oh, the kids. What about the parents who snuck in here? Were you thinking ahead? No, you wasn't. I would say weren't, but wasn't sounds cool. So, 10 or 12 states were going to sue because it's saying DACA was illegal, which it was. Obama passed by fiat, and, and they put a date on it. That date came today, so Trump administration had to rule on it. And you all right, Brendan? I was looking at Brendan. He clutched his chest. What's the matter? Get on the mic.
Ajita?
You all right?
It's just all this injustice in the world, you know?
It wasn't the food? I thought it was a pretzel rods in the kitchen that have been there since the fucking early 60s. So yeah, Obama was forced into action, and what he did was handed over to Congress where it belongs. He's given them a 6-month window to come up with something. Again, and we do feel for some of these people, but not all of them are fucking angels. So quit listening. If I put on CNN one more time, they're interviewing some, oh, look at this 17-year-old, has nowhere to go. Not my problem as a taxpayer. Not my problem. Trump's a builder. Build a big condo complex in the middle of the, I don't know, pick a state. North Dakota's got plenty of room. Put them all there for a while. Make them raise vegetables and corn and shit. Sell it back to us. I don't know. Let's go to Todd in Oregon. Todd, what's going on?
What's happening, Nick?
How do you feel about
love your show?
Thank you. The whole DACA thing. What's your opinion?
It's kind of a crock of shit. Like where I live in Oregon, I know you guys have an outlook on Oregon that's kind of like California, but if my part of Oregon could, we would succeed from Oregon.
What's secede? Sure.
I live on the eastern side of the Cascade Mountains, where we still have farms and ranches.
Yes, that's real country.
All that good stuff.
Yes.
So my best friend, though, I'm born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area.
I'm sorry.
My best friend, his dad, well, it was the 80s, 70s.
Oh, I'm even more sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, his dad came to America, illegally, but he opened his own business, paid his taxes. His wife came to America legally. They had kids. These kids he always paid his taxes. They were always good contributors.
Okay, so you sort of make...
Today are still contributors.
So you sort of make an argument for some of these people. Because these people say they pay taxes and they contribute, but I say there's a bunch of people waiting in line.
How many of them do?
How many of them do? Well, it depends what channel you. It depends what channel you put on. If it's MSNBC, 97%. If it's Fox News, I'd say 51% of them.
And you know what? I think it's probably more about 30.
Okay,
maybe.
Where are you getting that number? But it's a good number. I'll go.
But I think it's very few and far between. But not everybody that comes here illegally is bad. And
nobody said that.
No, I know, but
not everybody's good. Not everybody is good, is what you should be saying, because
I think there's more bad than good. I definitely agree with that, and there's more people looking to ride off our system than
whoa. Now you think there's more out of the 800,000? You think there's more bad than good? I don't.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. What happened? Your house get broken into in the Cascade Mountains? Where are you again?
Yeah, I'm in Bend, Oregon.
So you
Bend in the middle of the state. Yeah, but no, I just I grew up in an area where they let anybody do anything in San Francisco, and I came here, and it's a different world, and there is way more bad than good out there.
Okay. All right.
That's just my thought.
No, good thought.
I love what you're doing. Keep it up.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. All right, we got the take care. Got the Cascade Mountains over there, and whatever he said. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he's right about that. If you want to compare where he's living now to San Francisco, where you're stepping in human feces every 3 feet, just take a look at that, what they did to that fucking gorgeous city. And like you don't get molested every 6 feet. Same with Chicago. Look at that liberal-run shithole. You guys are fucking wrong about everything. Anyways, Greg Fitzsimmons, call me. 866-969-1969. Let's go to, God, I'm blind tonight. Let's go to Chris in Pennsylvania. Chris, welcome to the show.
Nick. Hey, Nick.
What's up?
Hey, if these 800,000 people want to stay, then they should have them on the southern border lay in block for about a year, and the wall would be done. They'd get to stay.
Yeah, we don't even need them to do that. Just, I don't know. Yeah, we'll put a few of them to work. Again, it's a nice cross-section of, first of ethnicities, and again, they're not all fucking angels. It is so hilarious when you watch CNN and these heartwarming stories, and there's people protesting in front of Trump Towers here in New York and in his hotel in D.C. Do you fucking people ever work? You people are protesting in the middle of the afternoon? Do you ever have anything to do other than your cause? And again, they zoom in. It's always some fat broad with those Janine Garofalo glasses and a real puss on her face. They all look alike. They're just unpopular people. So they turn to
big girls.
All right, Chris. Thanks, pal.
No problem, Nick.
For the love of Jesus. 866-969-1969. And Trump's given the Congress 6 months to figure it out. They haven't done anything. And like I said, the moderates, the Paul Ryans of the world, are going to get a pissing match with the real conservatives, which Dick Durbin likes to call the extremists, the cruel people. Because if you disagree with Dick Durbin and Obama and Pelosi, you're a bigot, you're hateful. Well, this show is this is what this show is for, folks. Home of the deplorables and the irredeemables. We welcome you here. We're the ones who welcome everybody with open arms. Guy wants to put him on the build a wall. We don't need a wall. We need to militarize the. Do you understand? I want 12 soldiers deep for 800 miles. You know all the homeless people and the people in rehab? Get them out, clean them up, give them a gun. Seriously, train them. I want them 6 deep for 800 miles. Fuck the fence. Guns, bayonets. Drones that shoot poison darts. Anybody with 866-969-1969. People laugh, yo, but you know, you have the right to shoot somebody sneaking into your car. Oh, what are you, fucking nuts? No. The president has sworn an oath. His first priority is to protect us, no matter who's in office. It affects the economy. Don't tell me these people aren't taking jobs from Americans, because they fucking are. Mark and, Dan in Brooklyn. Dan, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Dan?
Oh, cuz, listen, if anybody from this country ever went to one of these other countries where these people are coming from, cuz, they would shoot them on sight alone, on principle. They wouldn't let them in the country to start collecting benefits. They'd shoot them. They send them back to their country in a body bag. They wouldn't let them stay.
Would that happen in Mexico? Would they shoot us coming over?
Who knows? Especially with the drug cartels, they shoot all those fucking white honky gringos in the fucking back of the head and send us, let us fucking lay there dead.
Well, that's different. But yeah, you're right. As far as Mexico is, the government and the cartels are sort of intertwined, and some people have got whacked now. You can't even go to like Acapulco now. These tourist places that were safe, they're not even safe anymore. So again, it's about law and order, and one side seems to get it. Most of the people on the right seem to get it, but other people just playing on emotions. Anything to paint this country as racist. That's all they've been doing my whole life. I was born in 1962. That's all I've been hearing my whole life. It's so tired. Yeah, people of all colors trying to sneak in here. It's so horrible. All right, Denny.
Terrible. Have a good night.
Thanks, brother. Mark in San Diego. What's going on, Mark?
What's up, brother?
Not too much.
Nick, I think this is it's kind of a problem. It'd be nice one fell swoop get rid of everybody that's a knucklehead, but I mean we got to address the fact. There's like if you ask CNN, they'll say 100%, but I'm saying fairly between 80 and 90% of the country's agriculture is running on either illegal or work visa labor. You can't just throw everybody out and not figure out what the
okay, let me stop you. All right, let me stop you there. But where are you getting the figure 80 to 90%? Are you just guessing, or?
I drive by the when I drive up and down the coast. I walk by the strawberry field. I see maybe one or two tweaky looking white guys and hippies. Everybody.
Yeah, no, I know, but there's other places other than the West Coast where people are picking strawberries and shit.
No, I've been in the middle of the country. You go to some of those hog farms and slaughterhouses, just the same, man. It's two blonde guys sitting on top with the bullhorns, and everybody else is. Take a look for yourself.
No, I know. Okay, but let me push back a little. And I watch the local news here in New York and Long Island. Every other week, they're pulling 13 gangbangers out of El Salvador for murdering and raping people. But I don't see that on fucking CNN or MS motherfucking NBC. Your thoughts?
No, those Central Americans are animals. Get rid of those savages.
Well, but that's not my point. That's not my point. My point is, Jesus, Mark, out of the 800, oh my God, he's got a trachea in his throat. Out of the 800,000 people, I'm saying, if you watched the mainstream media, they would tell you that they're all just virtuous, fucking hardworking, and a lot of them are. But I'm just saying, I want to see a story on fucking CNN once about MS-13 cutting up two teenage girls with machetes in Long Island or whatever. I just want to see that. I haven't seen that story. We have a serial killer in Kansas City, by the way, a black guy, schizophrenic, but he shot 5 white guys in the back of the head over the past few months. Did you hear about that, Mark? No, you didn't, did you?
No.
Yeah, of course not.
Why would I?
No, exactly. Unless you put on Fox News and maybe check out Hannity or something. But that's my point. You're right. There's good and bad. But we don't even know how many illegals are here. People guess from 11 million to 30 million. We don't even know until you get out in traffic.
And that's the thing, Nick. It's like the whole build a wall thing. Here in California through Arizona, there's already a wall. It's about holding the people that have the job. It's right on their shirt. It says Border Patrol. Patrol the fucking border.
Yeah.
Do your job. It's just the same. They can count every person, Nick. And if you're paying taxes, if you're collecting a check, they know who you are. They know where the check is going. They can find you and shake you down. That's how just people need to do their fucking. Sorry for cussing, man. I've had a couple pops.
That's all right. I started all here. I'm sober as a judge, and I cuss up a storm. That's the beauty of the show.
It's about people here with jobs doing their jobs, Nick.
Well, the people, but the border people are doing. They can only do what the people above them tell them. You let them do let them do their jobs. Is what you're saying.
You can find hours of video, people running up on Border Patrols in the green vans, taking a nap, feet outside the window. No.
Mark. They're taking a nap because they're told by the people above them that they have restrictions on what they can do. So, the orders come from on high. And just like Berkeley, people are being told to stand down. You see with the sanctuary cities, the local municipalities, the mayors are telling their people not to cooperate with the feds or with ICE. So I'm sure that some of that goes on the border too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I told you, I work union, so I know the whole slow it down. You're doing too much. So I can get you on that one. But
that's true. That is true.
We can start lighting a few of these guys up, and you're right. It's probably going to take some poison darts or, opening up, use that gun on your side for something. And then think twice.
Rubber bullets, even rubber bullets. You know what I mean? But it's just, it really is. It's anyways.
And one more thing, Nick, before I go.
Yeah.
There's knuckleheads on both sides. This weekend there was supposed to be a little bit of a of a picnic by these Proud Boys. They were going to go and do their own defacing of some murals down here at the Chicano Park, which is all,
Yeah, but hold on now. Who are you talking about? Who is going to deface murals? What group specifically?
These right-wingers. I won't call them Nazis because I talked to them and they didn't seem to know a lot about National Socialism. But
yeah.
they just were a poor representation for the white. They were uninformed.
Yeah.
So there's dopes on both sides, and man, you got to take this on an individual basis. You can't just blanket say one or the other. That's why I stay central.
Well, Mark, actually you can a little bit because Antifa shows up with 20 to 30,000 with masks on and ready to brawl, as opposed to a handful of white people, like you just said. So, like Trump said at Charlottesville on the first day, bad on both sides. To me, that was an unambiguous statement that became so fucking controversial because he didn't point out he said on all sides, as a matter of fact. So there seems to be more thuggery on the left right now as far as shutting down free speech and anything First Amendment related. Thanks for the call, Mark. I got a lot more calls.
All right,
here.
Nick, take it easy, man.
You got it, brother. Love it. Love West Coast. Because they deal with this stuff, and they see, and a lot of it, and a lot of again, their relatives or people's lives are affected by it. So that's why we're talking DACA. Ryan in Connecticut says his wages have been declining for years. Ryan, what do you do for work?
I'm a truck driver and heavy equipment operator. I called you a few weeks ago. I'm the amateur aspiring comic that drove a dozer and carried a gun.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, I'm going to come see you at Ridgeville Playhouse when you're there.
Yes.
Definitely.
Please do, man.
My ticket's already on order. Don't worry.
Beautiful. Tell everybody you know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I worked in the trades my entire life.
Yep.
I started out as a landscaper, then I seen all these guys running machinery, and I'm like, that seems like a way easier job, So I was like, fuck sweating my nuts off, sit in the air-conditioned cab, pull handles in an excavator. Fucking beautiful,
Yeah.
So, but nowadays here in New England, I know I'm going to sound like a shitbag and what have you, but you know what? I got the right to say something. You go to any construction site that's a non-union job, and you hardly ever see a white guy in the fucking machine anymore. And I understand these people are leaving these war-torn shithole countries. Fine. But do it the right way. That's my gripe. Do it the right fucking way. Because there's 1,000,001 people who have done it the right way. And you're undermining the system.
Well, they'll say, if they're really coming from a war-torn country, they can't wait a year or two to get in here. They'll be fucking dead. If those are the countries you're talking about. But
but still, it don't matter which country. I mean, for fuck's sake. I'm all about the legal immigration system. I mean, if you fucking even come from Ireland, I'm fucking Irish by, DNA and my dick size. So, I mean,
I haven't slept with too many Irishmen.
Illegal is illegal,
Well, yeah.
And that's what it'll get, and I was like, this, that, the other, and trying to give them a fucking Passover. It's like, look, I'm being affected. I'm an American war veteran.
Yeah.
My wages are sucking right now. They're sucking behind fucking tit.
And you're saying it's part of the 800,000 that are here illegally, that they're pushing down your wages because they work for less. And doesn't your employer have some responsibility to fucking not hire these illegals?
We don't got none of those at my job.
Okay.
Goodness, because my boss treats me like fucking royalty.
But somebody
good about my company.
No, but somebody else in your industry, other companies are hiring these people, and that's what's pushing your wages down.
That's the fucking
right?
problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a problem.
No, I believe it.
I mean, hire the American guy, especially hire the American war veteran. If I ever start my own company,
yeah,
I'm only hiring United States military veterans. I don't care if you're gay, straight, or transgender, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. As long as you're an American war veteran who served with the United States military and the Allied nation, I want you.
Good. And then you'll be getting soup and not hiring somebody who's not a vet and some transgender fuck.
No.
I want to drive a bulldozer. I wasn't in the military.
Veterans. I'm only going to hire veterans.
Yes, that sounds
I don't
discriminatory.
care what race, creed, sexuality you are. You're a veteran, I want you.
What if I'm a non-veteran and I want to work there?
Well, given how funny you are, you'd keep the place laughing, so that'd be phenomenal.
All right, Ryan. Thanks, man. Good call.
All right, thank you, Nick.
Talk to you. Well, some people are affected by this. And again, you want to hear that story? You'd have to put on Fox News or whatever, a right-wing radio, they call it. You're not going to get that from fucking Wolf Blitzer or the Adam's Apple on MSNBC. What? 866-969-1969. Talking DACA. Let's go to Brandon in California. He's experienced the dreamers up close. Brandon.
I tell you, man, I live here on the border. I can tell you firsthand that it's out of control, and you don't hear half the shit that goes on.
Like what, Brandon?
I got a buddy that's a Border Patrol agent. They don't pay him for shit. They exactly like you said, he gets all his orders from up top. And as they say, shit falls downhill. So what are you going to do when you pay your guys like shit and they want to protect the border, but they can't because they're getting told what to do every step, every direction.
Yeah, they do have restrictions on them, and they're handcuffed, and it's just amazing to me that these sanctuary city is San Diego a sanctuary city, Brandon?
Is it a what?
Sanctuary city.
Yes.
So
yes, it is. I do a lot of work on military bases too, which that's the other side I see, where you see because you can't get on a military base without the right credentials, background check, and all that. And a lot of these guys that I'm working with right now are from El Salvador, down deep Mexico, and they do work their asses off. But at the same time, I see both ends. So
right,
it's a struggle for a lot of people, I'm sure, that see that angle of it. But at the same time, on the other side, what my buddy sees every day, it tells me and what goes on, and you don't hear half of that on CNN, NBC. You know, they don't want to talk about that because, like you said, they just want to show the, oh, poor kids, oh, where are they going to go? Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, it's they cherry pick the stories that fit their narrative, and they've been doing it for years. And look, this is what it's brought us. Thanks for the call, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
So it's just so funny how they talk, and Dick Durbin didn't even mention Americans, or I don't think he mentioned the taxpayer or the American citizen once in his fucking whining about this being cruel and just absolute nonsense. It's like one party that's being adults and the other ones are just being children. Doesn't that what it feel like? It's like, no, we have to live in the real world, Yes, we all want people to have jobs and to come here, but you got to, there's budgets and there's, what I mean? It affects wages, but only one side talks about that. The other side just goes, that's mean if you don't, you're racist and bigot. And Jesus Christ, it's worked forever. For the love. Let's take one more before we break. I wanted to get to this black Kansas City serial killer. And maybe the Red Sox Yankees. Getting back to that rivalry again. Some cheating going on. Let's go to Angelo in Colorado. Angelo, our last call on DACA. What's up, Angelo?
Hey, Mickey.
What's happening?
Well, I just wanted to make a couple quick comments. So, yeah, about the immigration part of it. Yeah, if you let too many people in, it's what's keeping wages down and why real estate's just going up. It's, it doesn't seem to be working in that sense. But I want to go back to a caller you had just a little bit ago about the agricultural workers. Well, what about this tidbit? I haven't really heard anybody talk about this, and this could be a solution for that. Actually, we could probably even have cheaper produce. All these people who are sitting in prison, what if we had a program or something to say, hey, you know what? You're sitting in prison for 20, 30 years. You're going to rot away looking at four walls. How about you come out, pick some strawberries, and we'll pay you $1 a day or something.
Yeah,
you know, and make it voluntary. I mean, don't even make them do it. I guarantee you, that just to go outside and get some fresh air, they'll be chomping at the bit.
I always thought about the prison population, and what's ironic is that about what is it as far as federal prison, about 70%, over 70% is black and brown. So, of course, the left will say, well, that proves it's racist. No, it doesn't fucking prove it's racist. It proves we're letting everybody in here and anybody. But no, I always thought that was, that we never, that was a good solution to take those guys that are in jail or whatever, put them on the border.
Yeah, it's a lot of manpower. It's a lot of manpower just sitting there.
It is. And they're going to know half the people picking strawberries are probably related to them. What?
Oh!
All right, Angelo, thanks, man. I like a solution-oriented guy. It's true, though. Get the ones that aren't, you can't, pedophiles and shit. You're not going to I'm not letting them out. Their dick will be in the fucking watermelon 3 seconds into they'll draw a little boy's face on a fucking cantaloupe. Oh, Nick, that's horrible. Anyways. All right, that's enough on DACA, folks. I'm just saying, they're not all angels, and it's really not Trump's fault. Fucking Obama left him with a nice shit pile on his lap, and yet he's being called racist and Sessions. And do you hear about this? Oh, boys, I didn't highlight the story. There's the black guy in Kansas City, a serial killer. Should I do that one? Anyways, over a few months, he shot like 5 guys. Random white guys. He actually said, kill all white people. And the only reason I bring it up is because you're not going to hear it anywhere else. I found it on Drudge last week. And I used to do a bit about serial killers. Did I mention that last time we did the show? Patrice would call me anytime there's a serial killer, just go, white boy, click. Every time there's a serial killer, there's a white guy. And I had a good theory for that. Anyways, we can talk about that. And by the way, Red Sox Yankees, I'm bringing this up because Andy's a Yankees fan. He's a Jersey guy. I'm from Boston. And the rivalry is back. And apparently the Sox were doing some unsavory things with their Fitbit watches, which is another way of stealing signals high-tech-wise. So we can get into that if you're a Red Sox Yankees. I like that story. And this weekend, Howard University and All Blacks, we played them up at Maine. We used to scrimmage them. They played UNLV in football, and they were 45-point underdogs, and they beat UNLV outright, like 43-40. Beat them outright. They say it's the biggest upset in FBS history. So if you put $100 down on that, you would have made $55,000 if you took Howard. Think about that, folks. Any of those stories you like to talk about, call me here at my house, 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. A little Steely Dan for you. Walter? Becker. Obadala?
I just walked by him.
Dean?
Yeah.
In the building?
I think he's doing a Patriot thing.
Yeah, probably bad-mouthing white people. Andy, who's more likely to be a serial killer, black guy or white guy?
Well, traditionally, Nick, he's better than the white fellas.
Yeah, but that's totally wrong. Totally wrong. Yeah. First of all, the black Kansas City serial killer fits a pattern. On television and in movies, serial killers are always white. America's most famous serial killers, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Andy Fiore, have all been white. However, according to an extraordinary database put together by Radford University and Florida Gulf Coast University, blacks are far more likely than whites to be serial killers. Since 1900, there has not been a single decade in which the percentage of serial killers who are black has not been greater than the percentage of blacks in the U.S. population. In the decades of the 1990s, 2000s, and 2010s through 2015, blacks have accounted for an extraordinary 47, 54, and 60%, respectively, of serial killers. Whites have only accounted for 41, 32, and 31%. Blacks are 13% of the U.S. population and whites are 61%. This means since 2000, blacks have been 9 times more likely than whites to be serial killers. Frederick Demond, or I call him Demon, Scott of Kansas City, Missouri, may be the latest entry in the largely overlooked problem of black serial killers. On August 30th, the Kansas City Star reported that Mr. Scott had been arrested the previous day and charged with 2 murders. Prosecutors suspect Mr. Scott of 3 more homicides. All 5 victims fit a profile between the ages of 54 and 67 at the time of their deaths, shot execution style or from behind, and murdered while walking alone in isolated walking trails or on city streets. All 5 were white men. What?
That's you. You fit that perfectly.
Jesus Christ, I do. Where's my helmet? Holy Christ, give me a... According to the newspapers, these murders are mysterious. However, Mr. Scott may have provided his motive in January 2014. It has been reported that while he was a student at the Center Alternative School, which boasts that students have the opportunity to learn and grow, he threatened to go on a shooting rampage at his school and kill all white people. Didn't he write a song about it?
We sing on freedom and equality, but we really don't care. We just want money, money, money. We want to drive in that big black limousine, get so high on ganja we can't even see. So we kill the white people. Oh, we're gonna make them hurt. Kill the white people. Yeah. Woman by my...
Of course, Eddie Murphy on SNL. And everybody laughed and kill all white people. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah. But according to all these murders, they were mysterious. They don't know the guy's motive, even though he said a couple of years ago, kill all white people. What a riddle, huh? I don't give a You know what's funny? When they go, oh, he's schizophrenic. Isn't it funny, even crazy? So that's how it manifests itself, schizophrenia, by killing, you know what I mean? Crazy's a shithouse rat, but the message that Whitey's evil got through. 866-969-1969. Anybody believe there's a little bias? Damn, I wish my late great friend Patrice was alive. I'd be sending him this article. Well, Keith Robinson, I could send it to him. He'd bust my chops, too. Another possible explanation for Scott's killing spree is the 2015 shooting death of his half-brother, Jared H. Woods, who was shot by a black man during an armed robbery. Mr. Scott was reportedly very close with his half-brother and grew despondent after his murder. In an editorial entitled What We Don't Want to Hear About Suspect Who Wanted to Kill All White People, the Star quickly fell in line with the Scott family's claim about schizophrenia and then went on to make a few political points. In the middle of a heated political argument over whether hate crimes from the left are as much a threat as those from the right, conservatives point to this series of unprovoked killings and say, we knew it. Then the editors then brought up Dylan Roof, who killed 9 black churchgoers in South Carolina. Like Mr. Scott, Mr. Roof is a schizophrenic, but you didn't really hear that, did you, that much? You heard it was all about racism, didn't you? Didn't you? Yeah, you did. He was just a white racist. The Star suggested that in Mr. Scott's case, the problem was mental illness more than racism. Why is that? Oh, because he's black. It's about mental illness. This could be true, but the press certainly didn't take that view of Dylan Roof, nor does the Star's plea for calm in the Scott case carry much water given the journalistic peers that implicated white America, and especially our white American president, for the fiasco in Charlottesville. It's more of the same, folks. It's a double standard and cherry picking and lying, and it's done more damage to this country than anything. Cherry picking stories that fit your narrative to portray this country as white, and it's really, take that out of the equation if they hadn't been doing that for the last 30, 40 years. Will we be at each other's throat? I don't think so. Just look at Houston and the footage in Houston, the floods. What do you see? I see a lot of different colored people helping each other of all stripes. I think that more tells the story. But would you ever guess that there were more black serial killers than white serial killers? I mean, Ted Bundy was interesting. I even use some of his tips. I drive around in a van. I have a fake cast I put on my arm, and I go, "Can you help me put this couch in the back, lady?" But again, it's the evil media just hell-bent on portraying this country. And I did my bit about that. I told you, white serial killing takes a lot of effort. It's like a full-time job. That's why I thought most of them were white. It's a lot harder than killing somebody because they step on your foot in the champagne room. Take them out with a fucking bullet to the back of the head, the Gold Club in Atlanta. That's all I'm saying. 866-969-1969. Do you believe that the media, the narrative, is always slanted towards whitey? But this guy said a couple years ago, kill all white people. And in the same article, and I read this last week, it goes, yeah, cops don't know what the motive is. I almost fell off my couch. I don't care if he's crazy or not. And what do you do with a crazy dog? If a crazy dog killed a couple of kids, what do? You put them down. So of any stripe. Let's go to William in Texas. William, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Hey, man, your show is a breath of fresh air, man.
Yeah, that means it'll be getting canceled soon, probably, but enjoy it while you can.
Knowing how things go, man, I wouldn't doubt it at all.
I know, right?
Yeah, the media is one-sided. I mean, they really like to report when the white guy is a serial killer, but it's also mostly because we do the weird and unusual things when we're serial killers, you know? The victim was found with a sock shoved up his anus, you know, something like that at the time. You know?
You make a good point. You make a good point, William.
The black guy shot you dead, done, you gone. You know, I'm moving on to the next victim. We got to do something weird and unusual, like keep the toes and wear them for a necklace.
Holy Christ, I haven't tried that one yet. I mean, really?
Oh, yeah, we do something unusual every time we become serial killers, so that makes the news. I mean, news isn't news anymore. It's entertainment, or it's just there to deceive.
Are you
One or the other purpose, I mean.
Yes, it is special serial killers. They are quite entertaining. I mean, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer. So you're saying no black serial killers have ever tasted their victims' brains, or?
Well, most of the time they don't. I mean, I'm sure there's been a few, but, you know.
Put them over grits.
We do weird, unusual, crazy stuff. I mean, usually they get caught straight off the bat. I mean, once they've done the weird and unusual, they either take too much time or, you know, they're a little too loud with it, or, you know how it is. They like to post things on social media as they're doing it. But,
covering all the stereotypes. You know what, William? You actually, in this case, you make a good point. You know how they busted this guy? He followed a guy off a city bus. I guess they don't have him on camera shooting the guy, but they have the guy on the ground 2 seconds later, and then they have footage of this guy right after that, right near the bus, drinking an iced tea, and they found the bottle and they got the DNA from the iced tea. I bet you it was peach flavored. No.
I don't know. Probably a little grape somewhere in there.
I didn't know they had grape flavored tea. All right, William, thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right. Stay safe out there. But did that surprise you guys that black serial killers were more of a problem than whites? Didn't you always? And why do you think that? Well, because, again, he did make a good point, though. Ted Bundy goes into a sorority on the Florida campus.
Hey, where are the white women at?
They're at that Tau Mega. Oh. I have that one. Why didn't I pull that up? Dave in Kansas City. What's up, Dave?
Not much, Nick. What's going on? Hey, I read Dylan Roof got raped in prison the other day. Somehow or another, a large black gentleman was mistakenly let out, and he raped the guy, and he said he won't sit right for a week or so. So I guess that was his little way of paying him back.
Where did you read that, Dave? What was that in? Highlights magazine?
Facebook? No, yeah, probably Highlights.
Where'd you read it?
It was I saw it on a Facebook post or on a news site somewhere. But yeah, the guy was he's in protective custody.
Oh yeah.
Somehow or another, the door got left unlocked, and the guy slipped in. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is maybe the corrections officers might have had something to do with it.
Yeah, there might have been a little payback involved there somehow.
Yeah, and see, it was all the point about Dylan Roof was when that happened. It was nothing you heard. It was all racism. And the guy
all racism.
Yeah, he wasn't crazy though, but but this black gentleman in Kansas City who actually came out and said kill all white people. He's it's schizophrenic, and that's how it manifests itself.
Well, you can't say anything bad. You can't say anything bad.
No, exactly. It's
so.
Yeah,
That's all I had.
All right, Dave, thanks. 866-969-1969. The reason I bring it up, folks, it's just, for Christ's sake, why do you think we're at each other's throats racially? It's this cherry picking and this narrative they've been pushing for years. I'll give you another racial story. John Legend. This one got me. It didn't surprise me because I know how this works. Sitcoms and movies have been doing this for years. But John Legend, wouldn't know him if he walked in my kitchen. He put out a casting call for one of his stupid videos. Call for fat actors to play Trump's white actors. Look, even in this article, they can't even say they can't even put white in the headline. Musician John Legend has put out a casting call for out of shape, that's in quotes, white actors to play roles of Trump supporters in an upcoming music video, alongside other white actors to play members of the alt-right. TMZ reported John Legend, a liberal and often vocal defender of Black Lives Matter movement, and that's all you need to know about him, fucking ignoramus, is creating a music video that needs several actors on a set that looks like a protest rally between Black Lives Matter supporters and Trump supporters and the alt-right. According to a listing on casting networks in L.A., the project needs 8 men and women between 30 to 65 years old to play Trump supporters. The listing calls for these actors to be preferably out of shape and includes a picture of real-life Trump supporters as a reference. White actors. The casting call includes 10 young blonde white... Listen to this. And this is how they cast stuff in Hollywood, folks. And don't think I don't think I miss it when I'm watching commercials. The casting call also includes 10 young blonde white males between the ages of 18 to 35 to play white male protesters with very short hair or short hair on sides, long on top. In other words, they must sport the haircut popularized by David Beckham and Brad Pitt. Yeah, or fucking or neo-Nazis. Where did we get this article? This isn't you can tell this isn't the one I pulled. Yeah. Which gained some notoriety thanks to alt-right leader Richard Spencer, that type of haircut. In addition to white actors, the casting calls for 8 black men and women to play Black Lives Matter protesters who are outnumbered by their white counterparts. More propaganda, and you people will soak it in. Young dummies on the left will eat this up with a spoon. It affects their subconscious. They don't even know when you're 12 years old. It taints the collective subconscious, I think somebody said. That's what it does. It's been a steady stream of this horse shit forever. You want to see a movie that really portrays old white guys as just fucking raising? Watch Philadelphia. The movie Philadelphia, Tom Hanks. Remember the guy with it? Please watch that. You want to belly laugh so hard? It's so offensive if you're a white guy. The 80s really it bloomed in the 80s. Oh, the PC horseshit. You know what else they're looking for on this Legend video? Also seeks to cast 2 young women between 18 and 45 as kissing lesbian couple. Looking for 2 females who are willing to kiss on camera, casting 1 Hispanic and 1 Caucasian. No sexuality or nudity, just kissing. There'll be a protest/rally in the background as you kiss, shooting on a soundstage. We want to show that there is no segregation in love. Oh, my aching stem. Jesus Christ, are you... There's no segregation in love, but 2 human beings of any race or color. Yeah, there's never been any people in love who finally said, fuck you, Caucasian bitch. OJ, Nicole, does that ring a bell? Oh, that was a crime passion. That had nothing to do with rape. Oh, really? Yeah. P.U. Other kissing couples are also being sought after to play in a scene where protests are going on in the background where they make out. A different protest going on. We will show the couple kissing in front of them to show love amongst chaos. Oh, my God. Help me. 866-969-1969. I want to hear from all colors. I want to hear from black people that don't like the way they're portrayed in the media. I like to hear from white people to say there's definitely a slant the way they're portrayed today, whether it's commercials, movies, TV, whatever. Let's go to Alex in Dallas. Alex, what's going on?
Yeah, how's it going, Nick?
What's happening?
Yeah, just calling in to talk about some black serial killer statistics. 1 in 5 serial killers is black, and actually within like the last 10 to 15 years of the research they've done, about 50% happen to be black.
Well, I just read a bunch of statistics. Did you hear me?
Yeah, about black serial killers.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I just wanted to comment also that it's often like in the media they portray it, and there's kind of some kind of a bigotry of low expectations where you said that the black guy killed because he said he wanted to kill all white people, and they said they couldn't determine why he would do that. Whereas with white dudes, they said they kind of like to make it to where they're more intelligent. So they, instead of killing just for some simple robbery or something, there's got to be some bigger motive behind it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, racism. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the black guy, they just have him. The guy killed because he needed to, get some money or something, and they just make it a much simpler thing. Whereas, of course, they're capable of the same racism as a white man is capable.
Of course, and they've been doing this for years, and people have taken it hook, line, and sinker. The dummies. Thanks for the call, Aaron. Appreciate it. It was a nice instant replay. What are you doing? He's still on the line. You hung up the wrong guy.
No, I didn't. That's Aaron.
Aaron. So I just talked to.
You were talking to Alex.
Oh, I was?
Yes, sir.
On what line?
1.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to go home and shoot myself in the mouth. Maybe I'll get murdered on the way home. Aaron in Pennsylvania, how are you? Are you a serial killer?
I'm doing.
Are you leaving a trail of dead hookers on the turnpike?
No, sir, I'm not.
All right.
The reason I'm calling is it's basically like Rodney King said. Can't we all just get the fuck along?
No, we can't actually, Aaron. We really can't because one side doesn't want to get along. One side wants retribution, and that side is being aided by white liberals. And yeah, most of us do want to get along. Like I said, if you watch footage of the hurricane in Houston, you see a lot of people of all stripes helping each other. But it's somebody's agenda. I don't know who it is. To keep us at each other's throats and divided. Obama did it beautifully. Never did it get more heated racially than when that dope was in office and his racist Attorney General Eric Holder. And that's when the flames really get turned up. But I think if you take the media out of it, and if we just worked side by side and nobody went home to television, we probably would get along pretty good. But I'm telling you, it's underrated how much power the media has is fueling this stuff. But again, it's all slanted towards white bigotry and white hatred, and as we know, is racist and all. When's the last time you heard the term black racist?
Absolutely never.
And you never see when people are being interviewed. It never says. It always say conservative commentator. It never says liberal commentator. Have you noticed that? That's been going on for 100 years too.
Right.
All right, Aaron. Thank you for the call, buddy.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Take care. Come see me hopefully, maybe Aaron lives in Newtown, Pennsylvania. The Newtown Theater, September 16th, I'll be there. This Saturday night, I'll be at Yonkers Comedy Club. And September 29th, Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Go to nickdip.com for ticket info, folks. We come back, I'd like to get into something a little lighter. Red Sox, Yankees, and again, you people are going, well, we don't live in those two states. What do we give a... Well, because it's bigger than that. Once again, a team from my hometown is being accused of high-tech cheating. But the Red Sox are saying the Yankees use a goddamn Yes Network and their cameras to steal signs. And you know this goes on all over the place. But you know what's good about this? This rivalry looks like it's back, I'm hoping for a beating with the next... We're done playing each other, which is... I don't know what they were thinking about then, Major League Baseball. You know that? We're done playing each other. No more Yankee Sox this year. Seems like we did it all in a month. It was like 100 games. So, I want to talk about that. And also Howard University, they beat UNLV. It's the biggest upset in college history, supposedly. And I had no money on it because I'm a bitch. Back after this. We'll be here tomorrow night live and Thursday night live. Friday night will be the best of show. I'll be on the Tucker Carlson show, Fox News Channel, 8 o'clock. So, I like Tucker a lot. A little Steely Dan for you. Walter Becker, co-founder, passed away this weekend. They sold 40 million plus albums. And apparently not good management. They cleared $18,000. I mean, that's horrendous. Somebody do the math. Tom on line 2 in Alberta says, Nick, you are the media, for Christ's sake. Tommy,
Hello?
What's up, Tom?
Well, I just noticed you're talking about how the media is always trying to divide people racially. Like, don't you think having a segment on a black serial killer and having kind of his defining characteristic be that he was black is kind of doing exactly that? Like with Jeffrey Dahmer, people weren't like, oh, he's a white serial killer. They were like, oh, he's using a drill to try to make sex slaves out of teenage boys.
No, the point is, it doesn't get reported the same. This guy came right out and said, kill all white people a few years ago. And then when he shoots 5 white people, the cops or whoever writes the article says, we don't know what the motive was. That's the point, is a double standard. And I'm not the media. When I talk about the media, I'm talking about the mainstream media. I'm a tiny sliver of that. So for every guy that talks like me from the right, you can put on, CNN, MSNBC, or read the New York Times, Washington Post, ABC, whatever. So, but I wish I could say I had an impact here, but I don't. Not yet, Tom.
Well, no, I suppose it's not quite the same as something like CNN or.
Yeah, but we'll get there. We'll get there in good time. People have had enough of this PC horseshit. Haven't you, living in Canada?
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to make it illegal to say anything bad about Islam in Canada, which I have nothing against Muslims, but that's Orwellian.
Orwellian is right. We're heading. It's just unbelievable. I can't believe how much it's progressed in the last few years, as far as especially Canada. Read about a few comics getting in trouble up there, actually getting fined for making fun of a gay woman in the crowd who was heckling or whatever. Yeah, I'm afraid. I noticed it too, Tom. I used to do the Nasty Show up in Montreal, and each year I would host it. It would get a little more. The crowd would get a little more PC. So the last time I did it, I got to be honest, I didn't have that good a time.
It's pretty bad in our big cities. Like I know Mark Stein, who used to write for Maclean's magazine, was charged with hate crimes or whatever for reporting statistics a few years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, and that was under a conservative government.
Yeah. Now you got Trudeau in it. Oh, good. Well, good luck to you. Thanks for the call, Tom. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You got it. Les in Illinois. Black serial killer from the late 70s. Les, what's up?
Hey, yeah, you remember, I don't know, I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s, all the little black kids, like 12 to 13 years old,
yes,
showing up dead all around Atlanta. And
yes,
so there was a witch hunt for a white guy.
Yes. And I think the guy's name, I want to say the killer's name, I might be wrong, Wayne Thomas or something like that. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Yeah, all I can remember is because I was like 12 or 13 years old when this was going on.
Yes.
And I can vaguely remember they did the composite sketch on the news.
Yeah.
And looking back and thinking, he almost looked like a black Jeffrey Dahmer with a small afro.
Yes. It was either Wayne Thomas or Harry Belafonte. I can't remember.
Take your pick.
I remember that, though. You're right, Les. And they were searching up and down for a white guy.
Yeah. Oh, they were on a witch hunt, man.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this is nothing new. It's been going on for, that's almost 40 years ago.
But it's amazing because they've reported it so inaccurately or put such a slant on it that I had no idea that there was, more black serial killers, so.
Wayne Williams.
Wayne Williams.
Go figure.
Wayne Williams, that's right. Thanks for the call, Les.
Yeah. Yeah, bye.
Take care. Wayne Williams. I said, What did I say?
Wayne
Thomas. Oh, wait a minute. I had the first name.
Yeah.
Wayne Williams. What a prick. Kids would go, I remember they were going missing every... And of course, in this race country, nobody would look for him. Just horrible. Ben in Alberta says, Tom, who called from Alberta a couple minutes ago, says Tom's opinions do not represent Alberta. Ben.
Hey, Nick, how's it going? Love the show.
Is Alberta that small that you know, Tom?
Yeah. It doesn't sound like he works up in the patch, that's for sure. No, there's a lot of good guys up here, and we love your show, and, we think that you represent, like a lot of the untold part of the media and stuff like that.
Yeah, the silent majority.
Yeah. I don't think, I think that you're not part of the media, though. I think you're just somebody, you sound like just somebody who's shooting the shit with,
Yes. I guess, because it's a radio show and it goes out to a national audience, I guess I can be considered but the point is, how many people have, come from my side of the aisle politically outside of radio? You know what I mean? All the when I say media, I'm talking mainstream media. So, we're few and far in between. You have the, Mark Levin's and the Sean Hannitys of the world who are, huge on radio. And you have Fox News Channel. But outside of that, you don't have, especially when it comes to like comedy or entertainment. And this show is kind of a hybrid of that. You don't have much of that stuff. That's why I think people are enjoying this. They have a place to come, and I'll take all the deplorables and all the irredeemables. Bulls.
Right on, brother.
All right.
I better get back to work here.
Get back to work, Ben, goddammit.
Yeah, have a good night.
Take care. That Zamboni machine's not going to get oiled itself. I did comedy in Alberta. That's like way out west there, isn't it? Kind of like, I don't want to say cow town, but like cowboy town. That type of, right? Alberta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So funny. I always pictured Edmonton, I'd never been out there. You see this big skyline and shit, and I'm like, wow, I didn't picture it like that, Edmonton, I always thought of some... That's me being biased. Tom in Ohio wants to make a observation about the media coverage as far as Katrina versus Harvey. Tom, your thoughts?
Young man, first of all, everyone needs to realize when there's an Italian with an airwave, he's automatically 106% correct. That's how we paisans roll. But yeah, I just think it's odd that if you look at the situation, one to the other, it's exactly the same thing. And Houston's unfortunate, whereas Katrina was we left all those black people to die. I don't see how the situation is any different. We gave them fair warning. We told them what was coming. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it's this idea that, man, they're governing this. It's
yes.
what's causing all this problem
angst
and this rift between people.
Yes.
And it's scary because this is a situation. You can go criminal one, criminal the other. They gave a description, they didn't. But this situation is identical. And Houston is such an unfortunate thing.
Right.
But Katrina was all of us not caring and hoping they all died.
Yes.
And I think that's a very scary, obvious. I mean, it is without question in my mind an agenda. They have an agenda to make it come out that way. And that's what really bothers me.
And Tom, what is the end goal of that agenda? I've been trying to figure this out my whole friggin' life.
The only thing I can come up with is at some point, whoever the elite are, need some sort of social cleansing, and it's I don't know. I mean, it's almost like they want a race war. They want maybe a natural disaster, something to clear out an overpopulated. I don't know. I mean, it's just when I see it, and I see it that obvious, I can't answer that question, but I know they must have a reason, and they must think something's going on. And I love your show, man. I appreciate the line, and Shindon, continued success.
Thanks,
I really
Tom.
enjoy your program. It's nice to have a neutral voice on the air.
And thank you for the call. I appreciate it. And great observation. Great observation about Harvey versus Katrina. I didn't... how many times did you see George W., remember, flying over, looking down from his plane like an asshole? Look how disconnected he is to the people. And then him showing him, nice job, Brownie. Remember? I mean, just over and on a fucking loop over and over again. They exploit everything. They're like, oh, look, it's all poor black people in this, and, and beautiful, the contrast. Although Houston was wider scope, engulfed white people, black, brown, everything. And people came together. It really is. I keep asking myself, nobody can give me an answer. Maybe Tucker will. Fry. What's the end goal? Why do they want us distracted and at each other's throats? I understand conquer and divide and all that, but why keep the people at each other? I don't. It's been fairly successful for the left, but Trump got elected. He won, which to me was like a watershed moment saying, hey, we see what you're doing. And like I said, if his presidency ended tomorrow, he's done more. I mean, he's exposed the fucking media for the scum that they are, which I've been waiting for. George W. would take it in the face, not say anything. I used to get furious. And even now, Dana Perino, remember, she was a spokesperson, a press secretary, whatever. She used to come out as his spokesman, and they would never reply directly to whatever the insult was. Red Sox, Yankees. I got to mention this. First of all, I want it real quickly. Howard University. Did I say what the 45? If you bet $100 on Howard University this weekend, they were playing UNLV. They were like 45-point underdogs, and they won outright. You would have won $55,000 on a $100 bet. Oh my God! And you know who their quarterback was? This was the interesting part. What's his name's little brother? Help me. Cam Newton's little brother, Kalen. Yeah. He accounted for 330 total offensive yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the upset in the debut for new Bison coach Mike London. That was his debut. Imagine you're a 40-something point underdog on your debut and you win. What a week. Oh, man. Newton had 21 carries for 190 yards and 2 scores, and he passed for another 140 in a score. Howard raced to a 21-9 lead. You don't need the details. Just know that if you put down $100 on them, that you would have come up with 55 large. Yeah, they were minus. UNLV was minus 45 against Howard. Oh, what a week of practice they're going to have at UNLV. Ugh. And did you watch, did anybody see last night? Georgia Tech, Tennessee. Georgia Tech is just beating the piss out of Tennessee for like 3 quarters. But only up a couple touchdowns. Georgia Tech has this kid Marshall, this quarterback. They run the option. I just love that type of football. And it looked like they were going to, I thought they were going to rout Tennessee in the first half. But Tennessee hung in there. Next thing you know, they score. They have to drive late. They have to go about 80 yards, I think, with about a minute and something. And they do, and they score and tie it up. They don't win it to what? Overtime? 2 overtimes, isn't it? Anyways, Tennessee ends up winning.
Same with UCLA.
Andy
A&M.
was telling me. That's the one game I didn't watch.
That was...
who did I choose over that? It was 2 more. Oh, it was Virginia Tech and Virginia Tech versus West Virginia, which was a good game because they were both ranked. That's why I chose that one. But so you were telling me Texas A&M
up 44-10,
44-10 with like a minute to go in the third. So basically the fourth quarter, they're up 44-10. What the fuck happened?
Lost 45-44.
How? They bring in the Girl Scouts on defense? What happened?
The kid, Roswell or Rosen?
Yeah. Oh, that's what happened. Oh, he's unbelievable, that kid. For UCLA?
Yeah.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Threw for 4 in the fourth or something insane like that.
I got to pull up those numbers, man.
And not to give credit where credit's due, their defense shut A&M down.
Yeah, like the Pats did. I watched that again, by the way. Did you guys see part 2 of Do Your Job, Patriots 2016? They've done 2 documentaries on the Pats. A couple of years ago it was Do Your Job. It's about Bill Belichick and the coach. It's fascinating. You got to watch. They're playing chess while the rest of the league is playing checkers. I mean, it's just the attention to detail is just fascinating. They were talking about how they noticed Julio Jones. They're looking at tape from during the season. Julio Jones, the last couple games, couldn't push off on his right foot or something. He had a foot injury. So he's running all his slants from this side. So they made the defensive back shade to this. I mean, shit that you wouldn't even, microscopic stuff. And they show, again, and they show this in the first Do Your Job, they show Belichick putting in a trick play in case they need it. This is like during training camp in the summer. They're like, we're going to put in this trick play in case we need it come playoff time. Sure enough, it's just, there's some guy named Adams. He doesn't even look like a football player. He just analyzes game film. He looks like a guy that would work for NASA. It's just fascinating. Fascinating. Why do I bring that up? Because, the Patriots were accused of cheating until they shut everybody up this last Super Bowl. You notice? Nobody said a fucking word. But the Red Sox now, my hometown, investigators from Major League Baseball have determined the Red Sox, who are in first place in the AL East, likely head of the playoffs, executed a scheme to illicitly steal hand signals from opponents' catchers in games against the second-place Yankees and other teams, according to several people briefed on the matter. Listen, the baseball inquiry began about 2 weeks ago after the Yankees general manager, Brian Cashman, you motherless, filed a detailed complaint with the commissioner's office that included video the Yankees shot of the Red Sox dugout during a 3-game series in Boston last month. The Yankees, who had long been suspicious of the Red Sox stealing catcher's signs in Fenway Park, contended the video showed a member of the Red Sox training staff looking at his Apple Watch in the dugout and then relaying a message to players who may have then been able to use the information to know the type of pitch that was going to be thrown, according to the according to the people familiar with the case. Baseball investigators corroborated the Yankees' claims based on video the commissioner's office uses for instant replay and broadcast, the people said. The commissioner's office then confronted the Red Sox, who admitted that their trainers had received signals from video replay personnel and then relayed that information to some players, an operation that had been in place for at least several weeks. Ooh, goodness gracious. No, yeah, I'm not making this shit up. No. Yeah. The Red Sox responded in kind, and it's on, folks, on Tuesday, filing a complaint against the Yankees, claiming that the team uses a camera from its television network, yes, exclusively to seal signs during games. Yeah, this is fucking fascinating. The Yankees officials declined to comment on the Red Sox claim regarding the Yes camera. Such tactics are allowed as long as teams do not use any methods beyond their eyes. Binoculars and electronic devices are prohibited to communicate about signs. In recent years, as cameras have proliferated in Major League Baseball park, teams have begun using the abundance of video to help them discern opponent signs. Some clubs have had clubhouse attendants quickly relay information to the dugout from personnel monitoring video. With that approach, the information has to be rushed to the dugout on foot so it can be passed to the runners on second base. The Red Sox seems to shorten the communication chain and more quickly get the information to their batters by sending information electronically to people in the dugout. The Red Sox told league investigators said, remember I was reading the fucked up, they can't even write a sentence?
Right.
The whole thing starts going bluey here. The Red Sox, I'm going to read it the way it's typed in the article. The Red Sox told lead investigators said that team, this goes on every time I'm reading an article, personnel scanning instant replay video were electronically sending the pitches signs to the trainers who were then passing the information to the players. As a part of the inquiry, I didn't mean to read all of this, folks. I'm sorry, but it's fascinating. As part of the inquiry, baseball investigators have interviewed the Red Sox team trainers. Sound familiar on Patriots? Remember the deflate game? And outfielders Chris Young, a former Yankee player. The Red Sox told league investigators that the team's manager, John Farrell, general manager Dombrowski, and other front officials were not aware of the sign stealing operation. Of course they weren't. But now they mention a specific thing in here. And Andy's sitting over here, my producer, with a big shit-eating grin. In the first game of the series in question, listen to this. The first time the Red Sox got a runner on second was Xander Bogaerts. Well, boy, if he's at the key to all this, Bogaerts, you guys got nothing to worry about. This guy can't hit a bull's ass with a bass fiddle late. They sat him down 3 games against the Yankees. He's been in a slump for like 2 months. Anyways, the first time the Red Sox got a runner on second base was Xander Bogaerts in the second inning. Rafael Devers promptly hit a home run, giving the Red Sox a 2-0 lead. The Red Sox went on. The Red Sox went 5 for 8 in the first game when they had a man on second. Their success when they had a runner on second in the other 2 games was mixed. So that blows that theory out of the water. 1 for 6 in the second game and 3 for 10 in the third game. The video provided to the commissioner's office by the Yankees was captured during the first 2 games of the series and included at least 3 clips. In the clips, the team's assistant athletic trainer, John Jockman, is seen looking at his Apple Watch and then passing information to outfielder Brock Holt and second baseman Dustin Pedroia, who was injured at the time but in uniform. In one instance, Pedroia is then seen passing the information to Young. I love it. I don't want to read anymore. It's all bullshit. I don't believe it. My Sox would never cheat. This stuff has been going on, like you said, and I have said forever. Forever. But now it's high tech. And it's even more embarrassing when let's say they were doing that and they still can't hit. You know what's coming? But I can't believe the Sox are the only I want to hear what the Yes Network has to say. I want to hear those claims. I wonder if it's just the Red Sox making up shit. I don't think so. I would not want to get in a fight with Joe Girardi. He looks like a tough SOB, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He's got 4 arms like Popeye. Got this skull on him, and he looks like a young De Niro in the face when he's mad.
He looks exactly like my ex-brother-in-law.
Is that right?
It's uncanny. My husband's ex-wife. I look at him, I go, that's Lou. It's my fucking...
Yeah, he is fucking... and I'd love to have that Sanchez on my team. I know it's blasphemous for us Red Sox fans. 866-969-1969 if you've used high tech to cheat and checkers on your opponents. We're at 3 minutes left.
That's it.
I didn't mean to read that whole article, folks. I'm sure I bored the tits out of a lot of you people, but that's how it goes. It can't be all DACA and black serial killers. Or can it?
If it's out there, you know they're eventually going to find a way.
Trump was asked tonight about his ruling on DACA, and he said this.
And the things I'm smart, not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart, and I want respect.
And then Dick Durbin spoke, and Mad Dog Mattis responded to him.
You can't handle the truth.
You little midget. Prick you. I didn't get to the banana peel traumatizing University of Mississippi students. I have to say that. But how about a nice hand for racist John Legend, huh? Big Hillary supporter, big Black Lives Matter supporter, just another ignorant Hollywood imbecile racist, which nobody's going to call him but me. We need some fat white people out of shape, and we need some Nazi-looking white guys for this video so we can portray how evil the country is that I became a multi-millionaire in. It's so racist. I mean, the irony is so thick you could cut it with Hillary's ankles. Huh? This is when the show gets great, with about a minute left. Tomorrow night, any guess? Yes, we have, you remember Seal, the singer? He's not going to be here. And Jean Rattel, he won't be here. Hey, when's that start, Andy? Hockey.
Well, I believe the Rangers home opener is October 6th. We got preseason in the next couple weeks. So, yeah, less than a little, month.
It's not till October? Kicks off?
October 6th.
I thought it was always late December.
And that's
late
right.
September.
The Rangers are retiring Jean Rattel's number this year.
Yes. And he wore 10 with the Bruins, but he wasn't 10. He was a 19
yeah.
with the Rangers. I'm going to go there and hit him with a full Heineken right in the chest. From the balcony. Nice. I'm going to put a lid on the cup. Nice 22 ounce. Right off the side of the head. No, he was actually one of the classiest dudes ever. And Brad Park.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, absolutely. To me, when in his prime, he was almost as good as Orr. Almost, but not even close. I guess that's about it. You know, it's a depressing world. But let's see what Congress does with DACA. They get 6 months to come up with something. Can't wait to see Paul Ryan in a headlock with Rohrabaugh. What's his name? The guy from Kansas. He's like a real staunch righty doing the right thing. But I'm so tired of hearing about how mean and racist, and Obama said it was wrong and cruel. And to that, I said,
You smug cocksucker. Fuck you.
oh, that sounded like some woman from the right saying that. By the way, have you noticed there's no more guys on Fox News Channel? It's almost all chicks, I swear to God. They've overcompensated for all the sexual harassment. Anyways, that's it tonight. Thank to all the callers. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Same time, same bat channel. Take care of yourselves.